Right, hello, and welcome to another episode of my fantastic podcast, Tamara Unfiltered. Now, I'm not sure how today's episode's going to go because I'm just kind of barebacking this show. I've got no show notes. I've had nothing but weed for breakfast, and I haven't eaten since yesterday, so we'll see if this makes any sense. Do you know, I kind of want to ask you guys for some help. I never really ask for help, but I need some help. Most of you know my birthday's coming up and I'm gonna be 40, and I I don't really know where to start with this story, but I'm going to admit that it was one of you that sparked this idea, and it was only one of you, and I'm not sure it's enough of you to actually. I don't know if I'm going to get the help I need, but one of you had messaged me and was like, "Oh, I want to send you a little something for your birthday," and then it just kind of sparked this whole idea because a lot of you will know that my best friend Stacey, her daughter, passed away back in 2002 now, and it hasn't been the best couple of years, and she's dealt with a lot, and watching her deal with a lot, it's honestly just been heartbreaking. And she needs to get a headstone for Lottie's grave, and I'm not really going to go into the politics of who should be paying for the headstone, but she's basically been left to this massive task herself, and it's a fuck ton of money. But I just started thinking when you guys messaged me, it's so weird because I started thinking about my grams. My grams is one of the best people in the world that I know, and ever since I was young, she's honestly stopped doing it now. Like the last couple of years, she's like 86 now, so I understand why she stopped doing it. But for the last couple of years, I mean, for the most part of my life, she, on her birthday, we would all go to her house, like the whole family, and she would just have a big sack of presents, like some sort of Father Christmas, and she'd have a gift or two for each of us. And it was just, I don't know, I always remember thinking when I was little, oh my God, I want to do that. That's so cool. Like, it's your birthday, but you're the one who's giving. And I don't know, it was just such a beautiful, beautiful thing for her to do. Anyway, so when you guys messaged me and you're like, I want to send you a little something for your birthday, I just thought, what better thing actually to do for my birthday than for all of you, well, those of you who want to send me a financial gift, a donation, if you will, so we can get the money together to get her the money to pay for this headstone. Like, it is not nice. I am trying to, talk to my friend about let's do this or that, and then she's like, well, I'm saving for this head. It's such a fucked up thing. She should have normal financial issues. Like, I don't even know what a normal financial issue is, but like, I might not be able to pay my gas bill, or like, maybe I can't make rent this month or something like that. Those are the type of things, not that I want her to worry about that, but like, they are a bit more normal, or a lot more normal than what she's currently faced with. And so this is my idea. I have set up a GoFundMe, and I'm just going to ask those of you who want to get me something for my birthday to just, I don't know, donate £1, £5 if you want. I mean, hey, if you've got the whole £7,000, because that's what it costs. Would you believe that? I'm like, what the fuck is the thing made of? And that's not even one of the expensive ones. So £7,000. Can we do this? Like, this is my ask to you. This is what I want to do for my birthday. I want to give her, it's not even a gift. That's such a fucked up thing to call it. Like, I just want to alleviate this stress from her. Like I said, I would much prefer she's having normal financial issues versus being like, spending all this time just constantly at the back of her mind, having this weight of having to know she's got to get this money together herself. It's just horrible. Anyway, sorry, you can tell like my voice is going. This whole thing has just been so fucked up. And I know this won't end it, but I just feel like for her, oh God, I should have bought some fucking tissue. I just feel like for her, it would just lift a weight that no one should have to carry, and she will kind of finally be able to feel like Lottie is at rest. So that is what I would like from you guys, and that is my big ask for help. I've set up this GoFundMe. If you can donate anything, there's an old snotty tissue over here, don't judge me. I'm going to use it if you're watching this on YouTube. God, it's hardcore now. You wear makeup and just not prepared for it. Anyway, so yeah, I've set up this GoFundMe, and if you guys could just help me get this together, it would you know what? It would just be the birthday I would never ever forget. Like, ever, ever, ever. And it's my 40th. Like, guys, come on. Do me a favour. Do me a solid. Anyway, I'm not I hate asking anybody for help, but because this is not directly for me, I kind of have no qualms in it. When Lottie actually, when she was born really sick, and we actually had a fundraiser at the pub. Now, I'm not good at asking anybody for anything, but that night I raised the most money. I got the most money off people. I was just like, give me your fucking money. This is for a good cause. And so I really hope this doesn't offend any of you. And you know what? We are living in really difficult times. Everybody's got their own struggles. If you can't help, fucking hell, that's fine. I completely understand. But what I do know about all of my Insta fam, we're such a powerful bunch. So if you're listening to this and you're like, well, I can't donate, I know your thought. If you can just think, she's going to get that money. She's going to get that money together quick and fast, and then she can lay the stone. If you can just help me with those thoughts, I would really appreciate it. And I know that sounds a bit woo-woo or wishy-washy or whatever, but I guarantee sometimes your thoughts just go just as far as the actual thing itself, or it can at least really help it. Anyway, so that is what I wanted to begin this week with. If you can help, literally anything, that would just make, I'm not even going to say my birthday, I think that would just make my fucking life, to be honest with you. And then, like I said, me and Stace can get to just worrying about normal things, like where have all the good men gone, like that, you know, jolly good question. Anyway, that leads me nicely into other things I would like to tell you about, catch you up a little bit on my life. Like I said, I had no show notes this week, but I just knew I needed to come and I need to ask you guys to come and give some help. But this has led me into something that has happened this week, which hasn't been very nice, to be honest with you. Not very nice, but you know, when you're just like, how am I this age and I'm dealing with this shit? Now, some of you, if you listen to the podcast, and you was listening quite a few podcasts back, you know I mentioned I had not started seeing somebody, but I had acquired sorry, I'm wiping my nose, a friend with benefits, if you will. And I am the sort of woman that I am very aware of what men are like. And I have had so much dealings with men that I don't know, there are certain things I'm going to want to know before I even get into a situation with you. And this guy in particular, I actually approached him. Now, the first thing I said to this guy was, is there anybody who would be upset if you were talking to me? Do you have a girlfriend? Are you seeing anybody? He replied no. And not only did he reply no, he sent me a whole spiel about some other shit, really making out like there was nobody else. So I'm like, right, this is fine, this is great. Because one thing I have unfortunately been on the other side of, I have had my life ruined by a whore, and I don't ever want to be a whore that is out here ruining lives and families. So I had made sure this guy was safe. Anyway, should have fucking known. Now, the first thing I should note is, you might remember he was a bit younger than me. I say a bit younger, he was 30. That's 10 years. I'd also said that was my limit. Like, we were discussing, you know, what is too young, and I had said that I feel anything under 30 is just, for me, he's going to be 40 in a couple of weeks. Like, I feel like 30 is young enough. Anyway, this whole thing kind of fizzled out in I can't even explain what happened, because, you know, some things you just can't bring to the internet. But what I will say is, we have parted ways. And we've parted ways in a really, I don't know, it wasn't very nice. It was not very nice, and it kind of left me wondering about the situation. I'm going to have to tell you this part for this to make sense, but after I had kind of ended the thing, I got a message a couple of days later basically saying, don't call or text him again. This is his girlfriend he never told you about. And I was like, oh my fucking God. But when I read that text message to, as you do, you call your friends like, oh my God. When I read that to my friends, every single one of them, I say every single one of them, I've only got 3 friends, but they all said that message was from him and not from a girlfriend. Like, he's basically lying. And I just kind of thought, God, he's just done that to like have a little dig, because he knows that is a really bothersome thing to me. It's something I really cared about. Anyway, so that was that. Haven't really thought on the situation again. Didn't really care, to be honest with you. I was glad to be out of it. I felt like, as well, you know when someone wants to have the last word or the last laugh, I feel like because I had kind of like drawn the line, he wanted to draw another line, have the last line, if you will. So that would mean that I wasn't bothered. And literally last week, I had somebody call, my phone rang, it was a private number. Now, we all know we do not answer calls from an unknown caller. And But now the kids are in, got 2 kids in bloody high school, I'm like, I have to answer these calls. Anyway, so I've answered the phone, and it's some girl. She's like, can I talk to you about... And I'm like, who? And she's like... And I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, yeah, go for it. Anyway, she just started telling me some really fucked up stuff. She's like, I am his girlfriend. I have just had his child. You are one of, wait for it, 8 fucking women she has found that he is seeing. And not only that, please, this is the worst part. Probably should have started this podcast with a fucking, what's those things, warnings you have on paedophiles or whatever. He lied to me about his age. He lied about his age. The man was 25. So I have unknowingly not only slept with basically a fucking child, I've contributed to this fuckery. Now the thing is, I didn't feel too bad because, I mean, boy, being one of 9, I'm clearly not the fucking problem. But it was just, it kind of really got to me a bit because I was like, no, you are not going to bring me into your fuckery. But do you know what? This is really highlighted more than anything, how much I have got to start listening to my own intuition, listening to that inner voice, listening to the universe. Because, you know, sometimes you kind of know the universe is trying to say some things to you. But I've realised, especially when it comes to men, a lot of the time I just don't listen. I'm like, blah, 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 like, and block it out and just carry on because I think it's best. Completely ignoring, like, very big signs that the universe is trying to give to me. And a few things had happened. Like, the first time we had hooked up, you know, he crashed his car the next day. And I'm like, honestly, me being me, I'm like, oh my God, is it me? Am I the problem? What energy have I brought to this situation? But honestly, my life was going fantastically. So I was thinking, I don't really know what I thought, but I think in hindsight, if I had actually looked at that situation with like outside eyes or my eyes, but not from like my own perspective, I would have thought, you know what, like that's fucked up. Like I've lost my train of thought. I told you I only had weed for breakfast. Fuck's sake, I feel like the universe, the universe just gave me back my thought. I was talking about signs from the universe. If I'd looked at that from my own perspective, but not my perspective, if that makes sense, I'd be like, what the fuck? What the fuck? How could you not see what's going on? Anyway, I carried on in that situation, and now again, hindsight, like, it was really a bother for us to actually get together. Like, we saw each other way less than we had tried to, if that makes any sense. Like, we had tried to see each other a lot, but we just couldn't because there was something always, a block always came up. And again, like, I'm ignoring this, and I'm not going to lie, there was a little voice at the back of my mind that just was like, you're not meant to be doing this, like, this isn't for you, what are you doing, sort of thing. But again, you bat it away, I'm getting very good dick. Anyway, so I don't know, I didn't take that as a sign. But that day I'd got that message saying, oh, you know, don't call or text again, this is his girlfriend. I remember thinking, like, the text message came in at 2:22. And I thought, fuck, like, because normally 222s and 111s are good signs to me. Of late, they're not. They're normally just a sign that even though things are fucked up, it's okay, if that even makes any sense. So I come in at 222 and I'm like, this is meant to be, if that even makes any sense. I was unhappy with the situation, what happened, but I was like, this is clearly meant to be. So I kind of knew then. But then this happening, this poor woman phoning me and telling me all this stuff, I'm like, my God, would you just start listening to the fucking universe, listening to the signs and the screams. Sometimes they're screams, let's be real. So a lesson has been learned, and I am, God, I mean, I was saying, should I have been on a list before when I thought he was 30? Now the fact he's 25, there's definitely going to be a list of my name on it somewhere. Anyway, so that was this week's drama. But do you know what's funny? I did realise, like, again, it kind of made me feel a bit powerful because a lot of like fucked up things had been going on in his life. And I now realise that was the universe fucking bending him over because he was trying to implicate me in doing horrible things to hurt other people. I felt so bad for this girl because I've been that girl. I have been that girl who has been cheated on. I have been cheated on while I've been carrying the man's child. It is such a devastating blow to like your confidence, to just reality in general. Like, it's just literally the most horrible thing ever. And I don't know. And do you know what the fucked up thing is? I genuinely think these men that do this might be gay. Because I think I understand you might be a bit promiscuous. You got a girlfriend. Maybe you got a wife. Maybe you got a side ting. I don't know. Maybe you've got a side on the side of it. Maybe you've got the onion rings with the beans. Like, maybe you've got a few sides. But to have, like, a decent woman who's your girlfriend who's just had a child for you, and then to have 9 other women, what is it we are not fulfilling that you desire? Say you fucking want it in the butt, bro. Just fucking say it. We'd respect it more. Because I don't understand where'd you even get the time? Where'd you even get the energy? Where'd you get the audacity? That's what I don't get. And you know the wickedest thing is, again, this has just put another nail in the coffin of like my love life, because I don't want to deal with men. You know, the poor girl said, he actually treats her so well that no one believes he has done this. Fancy that. He's been such a good boyfriend. And actually has been one. No one now believes that he has got these 9 other women. Diabolical. Absolutely diabolical. And it's funny. I'm not sure of how the order of these podcasts are going to come out, but there is a podcast I did that is due. This is going to fit in the middle of that. So there'll be a podcast that I think is going to come out next week where I'm saying, should I pay for sex? I'm not going to give too much of a spoiler alert, but let me tell you now. My mindset has changed yet again. I pay for I don't even want to look at men at the moment. I am so disgusted with all of them. And the thing is, I don't want to sit here and take a shit all over men, because as my friend keeps reminding me, like, from a manifestation, law of attraction kind of place, I do understand a lot of my issues with men stem from the fact that I have a real hard time changing my mindset. I do not expect men to be good, mainly because they constantly prove that they're fucking not. But I've had such bad experiences with men that my first thought is not, oh, men are great. It's just not. And it's going to take so much flipping mindset training to change that thought that, honestly, I actually don't want to do it. I know it sounds really fucked up, but I have no interest now in spending all my time in trying to attract a good man. I actually just don't fucking want one. And it comes with too much, it's too much heartache. I think with me, like, I've changed my mindset in quite a few aspects of my life, and one of them probably that's had the biggest impact is my financial mindset. I have taken myself from, like, literal gutter, like, can't afford nappies, can't afford food, gutter, to now I'm like, well, I mean, I'm not Jeff Bezos, but I'm doing all right. Life is good. The universe fucking provides, right? But that has been 10, 12, 15 years of training, and still now I have to get up and work on that mindset. But the thing about money is, I lose, let me not say that like that. I make money, but I have lost money, and sometimes, things happen, but it always comes back. And even the pain of losing money is nothing like the pain of what a man will put you through. I don't know if that's just me and I'm just like a sensitive little bitch, but I can deal with, like, pretty much every other issue in my life other than heartbreak. I do not cope well with it, and it affects everything. Me being heartbroken affects my fucking finances. I do not have time to be sat here crying over men, and equally I do not have time in the current position I'm in to be working on developing my mindset so I can attract a better man. Fuck that. I just don't want it. And do you know what the fucked up thing is? Like, I do understand to some women there are good men, but you have to understand this is like fire. I was thinking about this the other day. It's like fire, warm, inviting, fantastic. And you might enjoy a fire, but if every time, like, you were sat around, say, a campfire, the thing, like, spat out embers that burnt your leg, or worse still, just, like, I don't know, somehow created a fireball and then just, like, fucking rammed you in your head and you're just dead on the floor from this fire. In what fucking world? Say that even happened once, yeah, you're going to be a bit apprehensive. You're going to be like, well, don't think I've got to sit that close to the fire again. You get fireballed, yeah? There's going to come a point where you're going to be like, I'm not even going near the fire. I don't even want to look at lighters. Yeah, you're just going to be like, no, fuck that. I've learnt my lesson. I'm not going to keep doing these stupid things. And that's where I'm at with men. Why bother? Honestly, why fucking bother? So, yeah. Don't know what the point of all of this was, but this week I've got a little bit closer to being a lesbian, I'm not gonna lie. Honestly, some days I wish I could face eating a pussy, because I think it would just make my life a lot easier. lesbian? Actually, no, my best friend's a lesbian, and she's like, it's not, She's like, there's all this talking before sex, and she's just like, it's so emotional, and we both get our period at the same time, and I'm like, damn, like, I don't want to be a lesbian. But equally, I see myself getting closer every day, because men, they will do that to you. Like, they will literally do that to you. So, yeah. Not really sure what the point of that was. And actually, do you know what? This brings me nicely into something else I wanted to talk about that is kind of just... I've been so angry about it, but now I'm just a bit less like, I just don't care. It's just part of that fucking 3D bloody bullshit that, if you pay attention to, it grows and it bothers you. And if you don't, does it even fucking exist? I don't know. But Bonnie Blue... I'm pretty sure I do not need to explain to any of you who Bonnie Blue is, but just in case you maybe only listen to my podcast and you live under a rock, Bonnie Blue is a 25-year-old predatory nonce / whore who a little while ago set the goal of sleeping with 100 men in one day. Fine, whatever. Again, as we've just established, these are men. She wants to sleep with 100 women a day. Okay, fine. These are your goals. But then, a couple of weeks ago, she's done this, I'm going to sleep with 1,000 men challenge. Okay. Now, this has bothered me for like about 10 billion different reasons. One, because we all know if the shoe was on the other foot, if this was a man, if this was a 25-year-old man, because let me just continue explaining about this woman. She doesn't just sleep with any 1,000 men. She specifically wants to and targets college leavers, so like boys who are just 18, virgins, and dads of these men. She was even talking about she wanted granddads. She wanted 3 generations of dick inside her in one go, yeah? Sorry, I'm just trying to gather my thoughts because I'd let you gather your fucking thoughts. Anyway, so this is Bonnie Blue. And it's been bothersome to me because like I was saying, if she was a man, if she was a 25-year-old man saying, I'm going to go to some colleges, I'm going to sleep with 1,000 virgins and 1,000 18-year-olds and then fuck 1,000 dads, like, we'd all be like, send him to jail. Send him to fucking jail now. I actually reckon, I don't know, a group of dads, well actually, as we've established, groups of men don't get together to do anything useful. They just get together to smash this special needs whore. Anyway, point of the matter is, the whole thing has just been bothersome. But I bring this up to say, because I'm a comments person. I really like reading comments, which is stupid, but I love a comment section. And she at the moment, again, this is why I say you must have been living under a rock to have not known who she is. But she at the moment is, I'm only on Instagram, can't deal with all the other social medias, but she's plastered. If you open your For You page, it's like Bonnie Blue, Bonnie Blue, Bonnie Blue, Bonnie Blue, something, something, something. All the big pages are posting her. She's getting a fuck ton of traction. The reason I'm bringing this up is because you guys know I hate the word influencer and I hate even being tied to that shit. But I guess I'm an influencer of sorts, or de-influencer, if you will. And I don't know, I've always liked to be very authentic and open with you. And I've obviously worked in this industry for like 8+ years. So I understand how these things work. And so I'm in the comment section and people are losing their mind because not only is this woman doing this vulgar thing, it seems like people are okay with it. And it seems like people are promoting it because she is on so many different pages. She's being pasted on like I'm Just Bait and I don't know, I can't even think of any other places right now. And the point I want to make is the world is not ending and we have not all lost our minds and she's not suddenly being plastered everywhere because we find her interesting or we are enjoying it. She is paying for this traction. I will tell you right now, if you want to get posted on I'm Just Bait, you're paying them. It might be £200, £400, it depends on the size of the page. This is actually how I initially grew on Instagram, because it's not easy to grow on Instagram, especially like back in the day, although I'd say it's easier then than it is now. But I would pay pages like, some of you might even be here because you discovered me via Scouse Mar. Now, Scouse Mar would have reposted me and made it look like, oh my God, I love Not Dr. Tamara. What's actually happened is I've paid Scouse Mar to post me. That's what's happened, okay? And that's how you get on these big pages. You pay them. This actually is the same for a lot of things that you see. For instance, this morning, some of you've been like an Insta fan for a long time. You will know at one point I was like, I'm getting on this morning. I want to go on this morning. And turns out it's not a thing where you're so cool that they invite you on this morning. Actually, no, there are some instances where you will become so wanted and so spoken about that they will want you on the show. However, when you see people on them shows like promoting products and talking about things, and you're just like, how the fuck did this get on here? They've paid for it. All right, they've paid for it. Might cost up to 20 grand for the slot, but they have paid for it, because this is advertising at the end of the day. Like, this is how it works. Half the stuff you see, you know, is an advert. The other half you don't even realise has been literally, people have paid to put that in front of you, okay, because they know the power of you seeing it. Like, if this podcast got really big, eventually somebody take that back. When this podcast gets absolutely fucking massive and Spotify want to buy it for £200 million, what was I just saying? I lost my whole thought with my big expansion mindset. What the fuck was I just saying? I was talking about... Guys, I'm really sorry. Do you know what? Sorry, I'm going to go off on such a tangent. But do you know what I've realised I need to do? Because this never, ever happens when I can see myself. And I think I need to get a mirror, mainly because I filmed a podcast the other day, watched it back, and I had a bit of hair like this. And I couldn't even concentrate on the podcast. I'm like, your fucking hair. Move your hair. Ah! But I couldn't see it. I think I need to get a mirror, because I only lose my train of thought if I'm not looking at my... And is that narcissism? What is that? That's really weird. But I think I need to get a mirror so I don't keep losing my train of thought, because I now can't. Universe, please give me back my thought. I'm supposed to be a professional. Please make this professional. Oh, I was talking about selling the podcast to Spotify. If and when that happens, I will have such a big podcast that people will understand the power of me sat here. So at the moment, I've got a few hundred of you sat here watching me right now. If I had something here, a product, this is product placement. Now, I could have a Ribena here, I could have these people would have to pay me to have their Ribena on my table. I mean, at the moment, I'd probably just drink the Ribena and show you anyway. It's quite parched, actually. But they would have to pay to get that can to be sat on this table with me doing this podcast. So a lot of these things that you see, they've paid to be in your face. Market, at the end of the day, marketing works. Like, you get your product out there, especially if it's a good enough product, and especially if you spin the right story around it, you're going to make money. Now, this is what this Bonnie Blue is doing. And this is why as well, like, apart from pushing aside the fact she's a fucking predatory nonce, she's actually very clever, because what she's doing, I think she's got like quite a few pages. She's obviously got her OnlyFans and she's got people who subscribe to her, but she's spending £200 on an ad. And she's just getting thousands and thousands of eyes on her. People who will then, 10% of them people are going to go on and subscribe to her OnlyFans. And it's funny, I saw this thing the other day and they were like, she is going to rebrand herself and become like one of the top influencers this year, because she does all this day in the life stuff that gets a lot of traction apparently on TikTok. But, I even question if she's actually done what she said she's doing. I saw this thing, someone had asked ChatGPT, which, by the way, I'm probably going to forget to talk about this, but I have broken up with ChatGPT. Fucking, he totally works for the other side. But, now I've lost my train of thought again. God, I've really got to start eating before these bastard podcasts. Oh my God. Spotify are really not going to see this and be like, yeah, we'll give you 20 mil for that, are they? They're just not. I'm going to have to fix up. I need to get a mirror. I probably need to eat before I do this. Probably need to stop smoking so much ganja. I don't know. Anyway, Bonnie Bastard Blue, she's clever in the sense that she's getting herself a lot of traction. Oh, that's what I'm saying. She's going to turn herself into an influencer. And what you don't understand is these influencers get paid a fuck ton. Like, she'll be selling products and soon she won't have to get like 1,000. Oh, that's what I was fucking saying. ChatGPT. Somebody asked, sorry guys, this is a mess. Hope you've all just smoked a spliff and followed along. But somebody asked ChatGPT, what are the what's the possibility of like her being able to sleep with 1,000 men in a day? And ChatGPT basically said it would be impossible. However, as I've discovered today, ChatGPT is a filthy fucking little liar who works for the other side. I'll get into that in a minute. But point is, she is going to be making a fuck ton of money, and she's doing this by getting herself. I mean, believe me, I could. If I had a bigger marketing budget, actually now to be fair, I've got a bigger marketing budget, but it's funny over the years, I used to want to be so big, and now I'm like, people recognise me and I'm like, no, I fucking hate this, like I literally hate this, and now I would like to keep this on an even keel. Like I don't know, I don't get why anybody would ever want to be famous. That is such a fucking hard thing to carry. Like, I remember this all happened when I was vegan, right? And I was in a chicken shop getting some chicken for the kids, and I suddenly just thought, what if someone sees you and they think you're lying about being a vegan because you're in a chicken shop? And I just thought, oh, it's just too much. Like, a lot of this online stuff I'm not the biggest fan of, but I could now very easily write. The thing is, you just need to get something catchy. And I mean, to her, sleeping with 1,000 men in a day, it's fucking catchy, isn't it? But I could be, you know, like, you have to just write something diabolical. So it's like, be like a single mum, raped as a child, goes on to build mega business and is now raising children successfully alone. Like, that's actually a bit long, but you have to hit them with something drastic. But if I could make up a headline about myself and then just pay all these pages to put it out there, before you know it, not Dr. Tamara, everybody would know who I am. All right. And that's all she's done. So don't think that the world is ending and we've all lost our minds and we support this, because we don't. She's just paying to be everywhere. And like I said, I mean, I hate it, but I love it. It's like, it's clever, but it's sadistic. I don't know, it's all sorts of fucked up. And it kind of will have you thinking that we're living in the end times, because I put up a post the other day and I was just like, you know, this is half the reason I hate men, because how's this bitch got 1,000 men willing to sleep with her, like, to gather in one place, and we can't get 1,000 men to, like, gather and go and, like, beat up the Prime Minister or something? Do you know what I mean? Like, things that we would actually need, they're not doing. Anyway, but I can assure you the world is not ending. We're just, I don't know, living in some crazy times where I think a lot's going to be exposed. Do you know what I thought the other day? I'm just waiting for, like, it to come out that she's, like, the great-great-granddaughter of some Rockefeller or Rothschild, because there's something about her. If you've seen her, you'll know what I mean. She's 25 and she looks my age. I'll be honest with you. She looks kind of old. And I don't know if that's because, you know, taking 10,000 dicks is going to really fuck with you. But she just, I don't know, she looks very old, and she also looks soulless. Like, you look at her and there's almost something you just, I don't know, it's funny because in the beginning I'm like, is this AI? Like, is she kind of, I don't know, if you've seen her, you know exactly what I'm talking about. She's not giving normal face at all. And I wonder if she is maybe some sort of an industry plant or something, because, again, like, we are living in very dark times where the war is on our mind more than anything. And, you know, things are bad enough as it is without us thinking that this woman is out here doing all this stuff and men are willingly doing it. And then there's the other side to it. Like I said, you know, it's just upsetting, because why no one is calling her out to be the predator that she is wild to me. But yeah, do you know what, it's funny, a lot of people have been told over my life that I'm rude. You're rude. I saw this t-shirt a little while ago and it just said, I'm not rude, I just say what everybody else is not brave enough to. And I think that's the thing. I'm not rude. I will say it with my chest and I will stand on what I say. Do you know what's funny? I'm being so angry about this. That Sam, Daniela Westbrook, you know, the girl who was from EastEnders, she's doing this, like, I don't even know what it's like, influencer boxing type of thing. And I just thought, I want to beat the shit out of this Bonnie Blue. But the more I look at her, the more I actually just feel sad for her. And I saw her do an interview the other day and she said some fucked up shit. Someone said to her, like, what does your dad think about this? She's like, oh, he loves it. Obviously, he doesn't watch the, like, that content, but he watches all, like, my TikToks. And she's like, I've got these stickers that say, I slept with Bonnie Blue, these stamps. And she was like, I stamped it all up his arm. And then he was like, I'm going to go to the pub. And I just thought, is your dad nonced you as a child? Like, because that's what that's saying to all of us. Like, no normal father in the world is going to see his daughter getting fucking smashed by 1,000 men in a day and go, oh, I'm so proud. Rocco comes in drunk and I'm like, what have I done? I failed as a mother. Like, fucking hell, could you just imagine? He's not happy. And if he is, I reckon because this is another thing as well. Statistically, a lot of these people who do this shit are not okay. They have come from abuse and trauma, and this is their way of, I don't know, trauma responding, if you will. And they're not okay in the head. It's going to come, like I said, it's going to come out that she is either the great-grandchild of some sort of elite family, or she has been the victim herself of noncy fucked up behaviour. Probably the latter, or not, because if you've seen her again, she just looks fucking weird, but I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to wrap this up in a minute, but I just wanted to say I normally film these podcasts in batches, and so today I wanted to do this one about the GoFundMe, and I wanted to do another one about vaccines. Right now, I don't know if the universe is just trying to save me from doing a podcast that might, I don't know, take things back. But I asked ChatGPT this morning a series of questions, and the answers it gave me were so giving. I work for Big Pharma and I'm just covering up their bullshit, that I just felt really pissed off. And I said to him, I don't know why I call him him, but I was like, I'm leaving you. Like, you clearly work for the other side. It's twice this week I've tried to get this thing to give me information I know exists, and he wants to give me the Google fact checker kind of what we want you to believe. Fuck off, chat. Anyways, I'm actually not going to do this podcast because I don't want to come here and waffle a bunch of shit, but I think what I'm going to do is just talk about the kids and how I have raised them and certain things I've done when they're younger that I think have actually contributed to them being happier and healthier. The main one being I haven't vaccinated, and I'm going to do a whole podcast on that. But like I said, there'll be no facts because the internet has just buried them all in a bid to make us take this shit. Anyway, I'm going to wrap this up, but I would just like to remind you the whole point of this. What actually turned into quite a long waffle was to ask you if you can, God, I feel like a street beggar, but can you spare any change, please? But if you can just, even if it's £1, like, I have enough Instafam that if all of you just gave me £1, I'd be there. We need £7,000. If you can please donate anything, like, I would genuinely so appreciate it. And then, like I said, this will be a birthday to remember. I feel like, I don't know, I think in her head she was like, this is going to take like a year or two to get together, and I'm like, I just want to give this to her in 2 weeks, and like I said, we can get on having normal best friend issues. Anyway, I love you all. Thank you all for listening. Sorry this has been a bit all over the place. I promise you I'm going to eat something and smoke less for the next podcast. Okay, but I will see you all very soon. I love you very much. Thank you for listening. Big fat kisses. Mwah.